This is a special video for those people who are in job. So in job, sometimes when we resign, when we submit our resignation, the reason why we are resigning, it is very important for us to evaluate. I'm not talking about the reason which we are writing in the resignation. That is secondary. So whether you want to reveal the honest reason in front of your current employers or not, that is secondary. I'm not talking about that. But when you ask that question to yourself, that why I'm resigning, you know the answer, right? It is very important to evaluate that reason, because if you evaluate that, that will help you to understand whether when you're going in another company, another organization, whether you will grow there or maybe you will struggle to grow there. So let me share my perspective on this, and I would love to have your perspective. In last 20 years of my career, 10 years I was in job. In 10 years, I resigned 3 times. And then I started my entrepreneurship journey. So this perspective is based upon my last 20 years of professional experience. Now to understand this perspective, let's imagine this, that any organization is like a heater. What do you mean by heater? It's like people are there who are absorbing the heat. Now, it doesn't matter how good your office is, how cool it looks, whether the walls are very colorful or very white color. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are yo-yo office or very traditional office, irrespective of all that. If you are working in an organization, there will be stress, there will be heat, there will be certain amount of pressure, heat you have to observe. So organization is like heater. Now, if it is a heater, then we need to understand what are the things actually producing heat because of that. It's heating up. So imagine for a moment you are resigning it because you're not able to absorb that heat now. Let's understand. First, very common reason why people resign is, they say, Praveen, because of market. What do you mean by because of market? Understand that market, the company in which I'm working, the organization in which I'm working, that market is not performing well. So this organization is not getting jobs, this organization is not getting orders, this organization is not getting opportunities from the market. The market itself is dying, Praveen. So market is not good. Or maybe you are in the market, and in that market, the section where you are in, if I have to give one very simple example, when I decided to resign from Cipla after spending 9 years in Cipla, when I started as a medical representative, and I was a senior manager in Cipla in marketing, but I decided to resign because of market. What do you mean by that? Almost for 9 years, I was in the same market of selling or marketing drugs of HIV and AIDS. So I thought, I've spent 9 years in one market. From one angle, it's good. But from another angle, it's not good because then I have expertise of only one market. So market forced me. Because of market, I decided to resign. So negative or positive, your resignation, the reason of your resignation is, you are saying that I'm resigning because of market. Right? We can go deep here, but we will not go there today. Another reason why people resign, because of M2, that is manager. What do you mean by that? One way, which is very obvious sometimes to understand, that my manager is not good. There are many people, they feel that they are far better than their manager. Not necessarily that's a reality. Not necessarily that's not the reality. That is secondary. But you are leaving that job. You are feeling that heat because your manager is not good. You are not comfortable with your manager. Or your manager is not competent enough according to your definition. Everyone has their own definition of competency. According to you, he is not competent enough to manage us. I am not learning anything from him or her. Or manager is asking you to leave. Whether he has been asked or she has been asked by the higher authorities, or personal decision, or there's nothing like this, but every time when your manager is shouting on you in the meeting, you feel that he or she has the intention, or indirectly that person, your manager, is saying that leave this company. So the reason why you are resigning from that position or from that organization, because you are not able to absorb the heat coming from that manager. That is the primary reason. Manager is the reason. Positive, negative, again we can go deep here, we will not go there today. Third here is, you said money. Praveen, according to me, the amount of time, energy I'm investing in this organization, in returns what I'm getting is not satisfied. Now this word satisfaction varies from person to person, so there has to be yardstick to judge. So it's, in case if you have spent 5 years, so you should know in your sector, in your industry, based upon your education level, what is the range. You have to be in the range. One can always expect that in my first year of my job only I will start earning 20 lakh rupees per month. That is unfair expectation. So you should know first the knowledge of the range. Many people, they don't have even the knowledge of the range. Even I was one of them. I was not even aware that in marketing, what is the range? And I always used to ask people out of curiosity, so what is the range of the salary, So not necessarily people are aware about it. So, but in case if you are aware, you're not talking about some bizarre expectations, but you are aware about the range and you are not nowhere in the range, or you're at the bottom of the range, and you feel that the amount of dedication you have, commitment you have towards your work, returns what you are getting is not fair, which is a very fair understanding, by the way. Whether you like it or don't like it, understand one thing. We are the only species on the planet who need money even to deliver babies. So one primary objective, not necessarily the only objective, but one primary objective of you spending every day, the most productive hours of every day in doing work, because end of the day you need money also. And if you're not getting sufficient money, and that is the heat which is really hitting you up, and because of that you say, Praveen, no, I can't just do like this, I need more money. And because of money you're resigning it, and not resigning it just because you're not getting sufficient salary, but you have an offer in your hand where you are getting a significant rise. There is another way of validating it. Now, in case if you feel that I'm not getting good salary, and you go outside and get validated by other organizations and they say, yes, you deserve more. That's a good validation that yes, your company is really doing injustice with if you're in your current company, not giving you hike or increment despite you deserve. That's a validation. So you're resigning because you have an offer in your hand where you have a significant hike. So you're not able to absorb that heat of lack of or poor salary, and you're resigning because of that. So there is M1, M2 and M3. That is market, manager and money. And the fourth is WL. Now you will say, Praveen, after M3, M4 should come. No, not necessary. WL. What is that? If you are resigning because of this, then there is a big problem, ladies and gentlemen, according to me. That is, you are resigning because you say that there's a lot of workload here, Praveen. It's absolutely okay. There's positive, negative everywhere here in M1, M2, M3. But if you are resigning because of workload, leaving few exceptional, it's not good for you. Understand why. Imagine for a moment, take a case that someone had joined one organization, maybe here, and maybe around 3 to 4 years ago. Imagine this. Someone had joined any organization 3 to 4 years ago. And that person has been assigned certain tasks, job, work, right? Now, when that person joined, of course, it's considered that that person has understood the job. Of course, there's a process now, that is training, this and that. But at the start, because that person is comfortable, that's the reason that person is not resigning. So at the start, That person could able to absorb that heat. Even at the start also, that person is not enjoying the job, but still the heat is still tolerable. Not pushing you to resign at the start only. Right? But slowly, that person starts observing this. Oh my God, the work is increasing. The work is increasing. That's the reason it's called workload. And maybe after 3 years or 4 years, the workload is so high that Praveen, I'm not able to manage the heat of this workload and I'm resigning from this company because of the workload. Understand this. What exactly most of the people, living few exceptional cases, most of the people, how you have treated yourself in last 3 to 4 years then. When company has taken you, any organization has taken you, they have certain expectation, right? And they have given work to you. And in any organization they want that if you join today, after a few days, you should get or you should take extra work. It's there in every organization. If it is not there, what do you mean by that? If you working the same thing which you have been working since last 3 to 4 years. For example, you say 3 years ago, I joined this company and I was working on this project like this. And now also I'm working on same project, same learning. Then it's not good for you also, good for the organization. But many organizations doesn't work like that. So they keep on giving you work. They keep on giving you work. That's how even they will make the whole thing more profitable, because the work which you used to do in 2 hours, now they expect from you to do in 1 hour. Right? So because you have 1 hour extra now, they will keep on giving you work. It's good for them also, it's good for you also. Now here you have reached where the amount of work you have received, it is so high, the load is so high, you say, Praveen, I cannot manage the heat, I'm leaving it now. And then you decided, or you're thinking, or you're just about to leave. Now what happens, ladies and gentlemen? If you're thinking because of workload, resigning, most of the time it's not the mistake of the organization, it's your mistake. What do you mean by that, Praveen? It means this, that to manage your work effectively, you need two things. First, you say, Praveen, at the start when I came, my workload was enough. I was managing it. But suddenly my manager started giving me lots of work, and suddenly it becomes unmanageable. Now, nothing happens overnight. So one thing you need is to tell your manager effectively that, hey, see, I cannot manage that work. If you have reached here where you are just now about to drown inside the water, somewhere it's your inability to tell the organization. Maybe your manager is busy in multiple things. Maybe your organization is busy in multiple things. Maybe you're highly loaded by work. Every time when you're saying this to your manager, maybe your manager is considering that, okay, everyone has a habit of saying this, that I'm loaded. So just because you feel that I have already informed you that I'm loaded, the communication, the basic principle of communication is this. When you inform someone to someone, not necessarily that person has perceived and conceived the same thought what you have in mind. Not necessarily. So somewhere, if you are reached this level, that you cannot tolerate that heat because of workload, somewhere in the middle here, you had an opportunity to learn the skill of expressing yourself effectively in front of organizations. See, I want to work, but somewhere this amount of work I'm getting, I'm not able to manage that work effectively. So decrease my load. Number one. So you fail in your people management. What do you mean by people management? Sometimes people say that people management is only for those people who are leaders, who get the maximum heat. Not necessarily. People management also for those people who are junior, just entering. How do you manage your boss? What do you want to manage? Not manipulate. How do you manage your boss? How do you convey? How do you manage your colleagues? So people management, somewhere you failed in people management, the skill your ability to express in front of your colleagues, in front of your manager, in front of your organization that, hey, I'm feeling loaded, please, I cannot manage that. If it is. Second, somewhere you failed in developing the skill which is required to manage the load. What do you mean by skill? Imagine you are a coder. And when you join, you said, oh, very nice, but suddenly there are too many softwares you have to develop, too many products you have to develop. Now, suddenly the skill which you have joined, that skill is not sufficient enough to execute. Organization will always expect from you. But the skill is not sufficient. You are still there. Even after 3 to 4 years, your skill set is same. So somewhere you have not improved your skill set also. And the combination of these two is disaster. After spending 3 to 4 years, neither you have improved on your skills, you have the same skills, neither you have learned how to develop a relationship with your colleagues, your manager, so you can able to speak effectively in front of them, and how to organize your thoughts so you can speak effectively in front of them. See, I want to do work, but I'm not able to manage my work effective. Right? Both the skills you have not learned. And that's the reason now you have reached a level where you are saying that my workload is so high, Praveen, I want to leave. Now understand one thing. When you leave because of this, according to me, then you are broken, right? You're broken. You're not happy with that. No. Imagine if I am feeling from inside, doesn't matter what you write in your resignation, but if I'm feeling from inside, these people have really squeezed me. So when I'm leaving that organization, I will not feel happy. I will not feel good for that organization. But when you are leaving, say example, you are leaving for this. Now your reason of leaving, that Praveen, I'm getting a very significant hike. So I remember the second resignation when I gave from Ranbaxy. The only reason I decided to leave Ranbaxy, I was enjoying my job, but the only resignation because I got a opportunity from a multinational company, a US based company, and they were offering me a senior marketing manager job with a very high salary, significant hike. And I thought, yes, it's my responsibility. Even I have financial aspiration. Even it's my responsibility to provide enough money to my families to improve their standard of life. So I said yes. So I will not have a bad feeling for that company. So when I left Ranbaxy, I have no bad feeling for that organization. If you are leaving because of you getting opportunity to go as a manager, then you are not broken. When you are leaving because of money, you are not broken. You have reshaped yourself. Heat is still there, but when you are leaving, you are a different person. You have reshaped, not broken. You are going, you said, Praveen, I'm going because I am getting an opportunity to work as a manager. You should feel happy that this company has helped to reach here if you're going as a manager. So there is no bad feeling for the organization. Or maybe one very sad feeling that I have been waiting. I was expecting that the same organization will give me this manager designation, but there are multiple reasons sometimes the organization doesn't offer you a manager position. Multiple reasons. Not necessarily the organization has that intention. Right? But you should be happy. Or you said, Praveen, I'm going in a completely different marketplace and I'm excited. Okay, I've spent some time in this organization. I gain expertise in this particular domain, but I'm excited to go in other market. So here when you are leaving, if your reasons are like this, it means this heat has shaped you, reshaped you. And when you are leaving, when you're going, again, you are a different person. But if you're leaving because of workload, it means you're a broken person. And if you're a broken person, if you're living because of workload, I must tell you, don't forget. In case if you decide that no, Praveen, I will not work anywhere else, that's okay. Otherwise, you're going in one more heater one day. Your next job will be one more heater. And initially everything will be right. That's the reason sometimes many people at the start of their new job, if you ask them out of curiosity, how was the job? Arey, very nice. My boss, amazing. Even food is there. Lunch is free. And just meet them after 2 years. The biggest complaining thing is this, a boss is not good. Arey, lunch, bogus, same lunch every day. Right? So that's I will not say it's a vicious cycle, but it's not a cycle. Why? Because every time when you break, it's get documented on your CV. What do you mean by that? Yeah, it's documented on your CV. Every time. Every time when you reshape yourself, it's also get documented on your CV. So when you break, when it's good documented, and if you really grow after many years, when you see, and then you say, hey, he's broken many times, it means he doesn't know how to manage the heat, to reshape himself or herself. Because it doesn't matter where you are going, ladies and gentlemen, there will be heat. Use the same heat to get or to give a very good shape to yourself. Don't break in your life. That's my perspective. When you are resigning, that's an amazing time for you to evaluate. And when you are going to a next company, you can predict what is going to happen. This is Prema Doctor signing out until we meet again.